good evening, everyone. Hi there, and welcome to Chalice, Twilight Roads on the initiative order. We got here eventually. As many of you may already be aware, there's some weird bullshittery going on with Twitch that means people can't go live. We eventually did, and then we sat in the waiting room going, we didn't know what was happening, and half of us weren't paying attention, including me, mostly me. Half of us were me. Before we jump on ahead and introduce everyone and run through our intro and prepare ourselves, I'm a big guy, Jago.
Okay.
I see you're counting along.
Oh, is it like multiple souls? Anyway.
No, lack of. I'd like to think I've been dedicating, the last 18, 19 episodes of this, demonstrating that I...
Oh.
Oh, 18 or 19 episodes.
Oh, no.
That's it, folks. So, since we've lost our current GM, I'll be taking over.
Oh, no, we can't have that.
Oh, no. You'll win. It's lovely. It's happy. We escape. The government rapidly changes and is... Oh, I think we got him back. Is that a no?
Oh.
Yeah? Hey.
Oh, he's drinking.
He's back.
Oh, yeah. Ben's back.
Do you know the really sad thing? Didn't freeze for me.
Oh, no.
So, did you hear the coup that Jago was trying to take then? He's coming for your place. I say we should kill him.
I would advise against that. For no particular reason, I just would.
I don't consider Jago a threat.
Okay.
Right, as I was trying to say before my internet decided I had to shut up, and frankly, I don't blame it. Before we get on with tonight's game, we are going through a few charity streams this week for Hispanic Heritage Month, mostly in light of the struggle going on in Puerto Rico. And due to Hurricane Fiona, we're raising funds for the True Self Foundation. True Self is a non-profit that works on advocacy and relief programs for the LGBTQIA+ community, with a focus on the trans community in Puerto Rico, of course. They grant scholarships, assist with funding gender affirmation surgeries, provide free legal services for name change processes, and make large economic contributions to support victims of gender violence and other emergency situations. So we are really wanting to use our position at the moment just to talk to all of you and encourage you to go and lend a hand where you can, give what you can, and just help in any way. All of the information is in chat, so have a look through there and see what you can do to help. Right. And on to something that's significantly less important, us. So we'll run through, say hello to everyone, introduce ourselves, and not at all make our players worry as we enter the conclusion of Season 1. So first on my list is Max.
Oh, hi, I'm Max. I'll be playing Jules. She is willing to help out in any way that she can this episode. That's what I'm going to say.
That's very
keeping
ominous.
it quick, keeping it light.
Yeah. I feel I should throw a dart at the board I have over there with everyone's name on it to see who isn't going to make it. Billy.
Oh, I really hope that dart didn't land because that's not for who's talking, it's who's dying next. Is that dartboard, I know for a fact. I'm Billy, I'm playing Subil, hopefully for longer than just tonight, but I guess we're going to have to find out, considering he's not the most combatly gifted. Yeah, I'm scared for Subil.
I would be as well.
Yeah,
On other people that should be scared for their characters. Lynn.
Yes. Hi. I'm dying in real life as well. I'm Lynn. I play Cecily, who is an alchemist and is probably the squishiest member of the group. And I don't hold much hope for actually surviving very long.
As long as you don't. I wouldn't like to build up hope. Jago, how much hope do you have?
No. Hi, I'm Jago, the Daring Dice Goblin of this cast. I've been playing Jack Hooper for a while. Let's hope that continues into season 2. Knowing Ben, I've got the chances are dwindling very quickly. So. Yeah, I'm not hopeful.
And as we discovered last week, if we were to go by people who are apparently the least likely to die, according to certain characters, we go to the apparent immortal in our midst, Holly.
You say that, but I'm so expecting you to pull the thing of, this time you die, you stay dead. So
there are much worse things than death, Holly.
Oh, I'm well aware of that. But hi, I'm Holly. I play Edlynnne. Even if, she may not die, but who knows? I may not. If she dies, I may not be able to play her again. So I'm just gonna take it as it goes. And if I start crying, then don't judge me, please. Thank you.
I'm a very judgmental person.
I gathered.
I've seen it.
And it's true. And last but not least, I'm me. I'm Ben, and I'll be leading tonight's perverse performers. And I won't lie, I'm predicting psychotic phases and possibly paradoxical pain.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Ooh.
We'll only find out after the intro. So we'll see you then. How much of the game. Hello, everyone. So now we get to play the same game as every week of when did I start the timer?
Oh shit. Okay, so I'll do
40 seconds ago.
Go on, Jago.
Okay. So basically, after Subil came out of his meeting with Juliana, we all meet up in a nice little alleyway, quite quaint. She gives us the lowdown on where Sam is, what we can expect to be there, yada yada. And there's a boat ready to take us wherever the fuck we want in the country. We make our way down to where Sam is being held. We also get some additional information from that about his background experimentation, where they found him, yada yada, great stuff. We come up with the ingenious idea of how to not kill and murderize everything, to incapacitate two
Got 30
wardens.
seconds.
Oh, fuck.
20.
Two wardens with superpowered suits to help to enhance their ability. I'm not getting this memento. I'm just going to do the recap for the audience's benefit. With two syringes, which can incapacitate them. Sybil and Juliana go on a scout, figure out what we've got to deal with, which several protectorate. We come up to draw them away. Juliana fires a shot as we, a distance away. As she was moving a substantial distance away, we set up ready to move in.
That does it. I also lied. I hadn't started the timer. You have 30 seconds left, so you know.
Oh,
you mean
you little cheeky sod. Any little goodies I can throw in there?
Juliana's running away, shooting the sky, basically. To distract everyone.
After we get into the house and ideally extract Sam with all of us alive, we get on a boat that our good friend Kurt has been able to, let's say, rent for us, and jump on Juliana's and use that to go to Juliana's boat and anywhere in the country. And yeah, that's basically the plan.
Quite anywhere in the country, but yeah, a good distance.
Yeah.
Well done. Right, just going to do a quick check. Am I the right color on text now, old tech gods? Yes.
The tech gods have smiled upon us this day.
Someone's not speaking in my ear.
We don't have headsets on. You're lying.
The first time ever I do. Right. Well, thank you very much for that, Jago, leading us in. And there's nothing I can particularly think of that you missed, and you did it all in time. Have a void point.
Yay!
So, as we left you, you were making your way slowly out onto the street, having just had Juliana charge off into the distance, firing a few tracer rounds into the air to try and pull attention away from you. Many of the protectorate that had been stationed outside the building in plain clothes took off down the street after a brief order from a warden, leaning out of the window and sending them off. They charge down and you make your way out into the street, watching as the window the warden has leant out of is closed and the curtains redrawn. You have a couple of moments. The door stands in front of you and you can see a small window just to the right of it that peers into the building itself. It doesn't give you any idea of what's in there though, as again, the curtains have been drawn. All you know is that apparently Sam is waiting for you.
Quick question. The window that the warden poked his head up, was that on the first or second floor?
Second floor.
Second. Cool.
If anyone has any particular momentum spends or void point spends that they would like to do before entering, now is the opportunity to do so.
I would like to spend a void point to get rid of the 4 points of fatigue that I have accumulated, if that is all right with the Almighty, the end god.
So the only Almighty here is our tech god.
Okay, is it all right with the? I can't think of any more words.
I've got no problem with it.
Awesome. Thank you.
He approves.
I forgot what her total was.
Are there any windows on the first floor?
There's one window on the first floor. It's currently got its curtains drawn, but it sits directly next to the door into the building.
Okay. And there are guards posted by the door?
Not outside anymore.
Okay.
If it wasn't for the fact that you have been told what was in here, you wouldn't have any indication that it was anything other than a normally occupied townhouse.
So, we sneak in initially, and then when everything goes to shit,
right,
we just move as fast as we can.
I think so.
Let's go.
Yeah, I say we go now.
I'll make my way over.
I'll also do the same.
I follow.
Sneaky as possible, sir. Sneaky as possible.
As we head in, I'm going to ask Jules to give me one of the syringes.
Yeah,
because it's better to split them across two people.
You mutter the request as you start just crossing over the street directly towards the front door.
I was going to say, can I slip in my knuckle dusters in my hands?
Oh, easily.
Cool.
Even slide them on and crack along as you do so. You stand in front of the door. The moon is high. You know you've got about 40 minutes or so before reinforcements are scheduled to arrive and transport Sam away. The door sits before you.
I'm going to enter sneakily as much as I can and kind of pass down the line of close the door, lock the door once you're the last one through, if I can, and just kind of scout out the area and use my observation of hearing any movement in the house.
Do you want to kind of put your ear to the door before you go in?
Yeah.
Or just swing the door open first?
Probably want to look through the door and then go through.
Okay, make me an insight observation check then. We'll give you your focus and hearing, and we're going to say this is difficulty 2.
Okay. That's fine, I get 2 anyway.
Wonderful. You lean down and just press your ear up against it. And just inside, you can hear muffled voices. Difficult to pick up full words through the door itself, but you catch a couple of hushed comments. It seems to be 2 people on the other side of the door.
Okay.
Seemingly reacting to the sound of gunfire and why they've not been sent out to investigate. There may be, well, they're easily within earshot. You would guess, if not directly on the other side of the door, maybe less than 5-10 feet away.
Okay. Well, I'll try and I'll be like, shush, beckon people to the door if I can, and do like an SAS breach of like someone opens the door and 2 of us go in to do something. If I could with Jack probably, because we said we would be at the front line for this.
Okay. You and Jack stand on either side of the door. One of you grips the handle, gets ready to twist, and just slam your shoulder into it.
I'll be ready. Oh god, we're gonna destroy the fucking lock, which wasn't an ideal. Can we quickly check to see if the door is locked first? Just look at the actual, I don't remember what the bolt is called. Oh, we've lost a Billy.
Where is he gone? It's well timed. Not the only one today with some form of tech issue, clearly.
We are cursed.
Just the streaming gods being like, no, you can't end the season.
The pins, that's, I think.
The pins?
Pins
pins,
generally inside the lock and nail things.
Yeah.
You're right.
He's just gone.
Okay, cool. Sybil has a heart attack and keels over.
Okay.
If you disconnect, you're out.
For the moment, let's just keep things going as we're focusing very much on the 2 of you right now. Jack, as you kind of grip the handle, getting ready to just push the door and go, you just test it briefly. Just make me, I'm going to say, a coordination stealth check, just difficulty 1.
Coordination, stealth. Oh boy, that's not great. Don't mess me up, please. That's the 1 success. No complications. Really tried, though. Really tried.
You put some pressure on the handle and just turn it enough that you feel it hit the lock.
Okay.
The door is solidly closed.
I'm just going to mouth over to Jules. It's locked.
Are we going to pick the lock? They're going to hear the lock.
I think the yeah.
Well, I'd usually get Sybil to do it because Sybil's really good at picking locks, is he not?
Shit!
Yeah. That's the annoying part. I'd want to ask Sybil.
Oh. Okay.
Any updates on Billy's scenario?
Yes, Lynn.
What would the check be for a lockpick?
We're going to go with coordination engineering.
Oh, actually, I think you'd probably be the best at that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, because would combat engineering help at all?
Not for a locked door, no.
Explosives. I'll give it a go.
Debatably.
Yes.
It's just like I've overheard this weird whispering, and I'll attempt to pick the lock because Billy's distracted by a pigeon.
Oh.
Soon.
I'm so happy he's not here to hear that.
He might be watching the stream. He might have heard it.
That's one success.
Okay. You lean down and fiddle with the lock a little bit. No complications on that one?
No.
What was the highest number you rolled?
It was an 11.
Okay. You move in with the small toolkit you have and try the lock. You do so as quietly as you physically can and without disturbing it too much, but you don't gain any purchase. The door doesn't unlock.
Sybil?
Please. Yeah, this. Ooh.
I mean, could I do like a military tactics check to see if there might be another way into the house that isn't this conveniently locked front door, which we probably cannot
you
get
can
through?
move metal, can't you?
It costs me a lot of fatigue to do,
Does
and
it?
I
Okay.
have to do like an engineering check, which I'm not the best at. So I want to kind of leave
Okay.
that as like a
Or last resort kind of vibe.
that's my thing. But if that's okay, I would like to do like a military tactics check just to see if there could possibly be. I don't know why it'd be military tactics, but you get what I mean, right? Kind of.
Do me a reason tactics check of just difficulty 1.
That's what I meant. 11. Well, I can give you 1 on the dot.
I'll take the 1 on the dot. You just pass your mind over it and drag your memory back ever so slightly to when you were talking with Juliana in the past. It's a townhouse, so there would likely be a back door. There'll almost certainly be a back door. But this is a long row of terraced houses with no alleyways running between them. So the unfortunate worry is the likelihood is, whereas there will be gardens, there may not be a way into them without going through the building in the first place.
Okay.
Can I check the window and see if that's like on a latch or something that's easier to open from the outside than picking the lock on the door?
Yes, you can. Make a agility stealth check just to not be noticed as you go right up to the window. The curtain is pulled.
Agility and stealth, things that I do not have much in.
I was going to say, can I keep my ear to the door to make sure if we are found out, it's ready to like bust the door in?
Oh,
Push can.
I'd also like to say I'm prepping level 1.
No worries.
Natural 1, baby. Okay.
Hey!
Ooh.
Something likes me today.
Well, look at you
And
go.
a 19.
You're not injured though, are you?
No.
You're fine. You generate a point of momentum off of it and sidle your way up to the window. Glancing over it, you can see that it is latched, but it's latched from the inside.
Has anybody got like a credit card? Just.
Nick, if I've just attempted to pick a lock, then surely that means I've got something in my hand so I can try and jimmy that open with. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shall I
You
make
can definitely give it a
another
try.
coordination engineering? Was it?
We're going to call, the coordination engineering works. This will be difficulty 2. It does, however, have a complication range of 16.
How much momentum do we have?
We have 2.
2.
Can I get 1 more dice?
Yeah,
Is that allowed to try and break in stealthily?
it's there.
14 to beat. 1 success. 1 failure. I fucked that up.
No.
Two complications. I rolled a 19, a 20, and an 8. I'm so sorry.
Good.
Billy
Do you have any
lives.
voids?
I do have a void. Can I spend a void point to open the window?
You can spend a void point to either open the window or re-roll your dice. If you use it to open the window, I'm going to take those complications.
I'm going to re-roll a dice. Spend a void, re-roll a dice.
Hi, Billy.
That's another 8.
Sorry,
Okay.
Live.
I live.
Great success.
You run your tools under the base of the window, just sliding them in enough to gain some purchase onto the other side and push the latch free. You get to a point where you accidentally push your tools a little bit too far, and they just about run through the curtain on the other side. You stop yourself just at the last moment and just carefully pull your tool back, unlatching the window and allowing you enough purchase to just use the kind of file just to push up and just raise the window a small amount. It's fully mobile now. You can raise it as much as you need to. It's not the biggest window on the planet, however. You'd be able to get about one of you through a turn if you were trying to leap through it.
Okay. Want to have a quick look-see to see if the people are in that room specifically?
I'm going to step back and let Jules and Jack
Do another perception, if I could.
I will. Can I assist?
Yeah, of course you can. It's going to drop down to insight observation difficulty of 1 now because the window is open. You can just hear the sounds coming through a little bit more. Okay. You'll still have your hearing focus to roll away. Difficulty 1.
9.
That is 3 so far.
11 and just... That is one more success.
So 4 successes.
So you generate 3 momentum. Immediately, you start to hear the voices just kind of wafting through. The sound of... I say voices, it's a voice. Apart from the 2 you'd heard earlier through the doorway, you just hear a single person talking. Keep the noise down. Boys upstairs, we don't want to disturb them. We hold position and we wait for further orders. Lord Purifier is on his way. So, act professional.
Okay, this is where
Are they behind the curtain in front of us?
From what you can tell, yes. Without opening the curtain, you can't see in.
Yeah,
you can only hear
they're
it.
loud enough to be in that room and next to the door.
If not in that room, through an open doorway and in the following. But with the amount of successes you got, I'm happy for you to know that it sounds like at the very least the speaker is in the room directly through the window.
Okay. Quick question, Ben, just to clarify. I believe Juliana said that it would be the wardens which had the flare guns on them.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, cool. So presumably, because they're using fancy titles and shit, these are the Inquisitors which we know are in here, or the Acolytes, I think. So, and we saw one of the wardens upstairs, so we don't really want to get bogged down in a scuffle with these guys, because one of them will just shoot a flare out and we've got people, then our clock is accelerated. So we want to work out where the stairs are and just go make a mad dash for them. Okay. Cool.
We've got to go through the window.
Well, if we can get through... Subil, can you pick the lock on the door?
I haven't got anything to pick the lock. I lost all my tools ages ago.
So if you can take mine, take mine.
I can give it a go. I've definitely broken into a couple of houses in my life. For good reason.
You make your way over to the door, dropping you down to your knees, and just take the kit to it. If you can make me a coordination engineering check with a difficulty of 2.
I can. I will have to run back to my desk where I was currently a second ago, because I am now between two places. I will roll that. Building suspense.
Yeah.
Do we also want to use momentum?
Yeah, I was going to say there's full momentum, but he can't hear us.
Yeah. Yeah. It would be great if he took the dice with him.
Yeah.
I think he's rolling on computer by the looks of it.
Yeah.
He's got his like stats there.
Did we not send him dice?
Yeah, we did.
No, but I think it's his stats.
Billy,
we're also going to use the momentum.
Okay.
Momentum. There's 4 here. Also, don't you have physical dice?
I do, but my character sheet is over on my magical computer.
Right. Got you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So what was the difficulty of the check? It was
Difficulty 2.
okay. So don't worry about my momentum because I rolled 2 successes.
Okay.
So
Cool.
we're all right.
Nice. Cool.
Okay.
Also,
You work through and eventually just hear the soft click of the lock give way, and the door, without opening it yet, you're fully aware that you can. All that remains is to actually twist the handle.
who's the sneakiest amongst us? Because if we can just peek in and try and get an eyes on the stairs, then we'll just fucking run for them.
I feel like
We'd be better peering through the curtains, methinks, rather than the door.
Why not
Yeah,
both?
let's just peek through the window. Let's not open the door.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Peeking through the window was that?
No, not me.
Who's got good stealth?
I'll peek through the window then.
Everyone stops and stares at Subil.
Sybil's just gonna shuffle back from the doorways, just pick the lock really quietly, putting whatever tools that he conjured before back in his pocket, and he's just gonna sneak and shuffle by everyone who's presumably crowding around the door and the window in the middle of this road. And he's just gonna quiet, and just peek, and trying to find just that little opening of light that you might be able to see through.
Okay. In which case, we're going to go with we'll go again with agility stealth. Difficulty
Stealth.
1
Okay.
with a complication range of 16.
Okay.
You've got full momentum, so it's there if you want it, but at the same
I think-
time, that is
I don't
more
think you
chances
need
to get
momentum.
complication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think at this point, Sybil's scared. He's taking a momentum. Want to do this right. Don't want to tip him off. Back in 2 seconds.
That's a weird one.
The suspense is killing me.
Yeah.
I know. Drum roll, please.
Okay. So,
Okay.
would instinct be helpful in this particular circumstance?
Not so much.
No worries. In which case, three successes. Yeah.
Wonderful, but no complications. Exactly what
No
we want.
complications.
You generate 2 momentum, and you just very quietly and cautiously just push the curtain to one side as slowly as you can to just get a glimpse into the room. The room itself is fairly open and wide. A fairly standard living room, to be quite honest. There's a coffee table just sat in the center, and a couple of large plush sofas, and also a single, fairly heavily armed inquisitorial acolyte sat just piling over a small book in his hand. Beyond them, looking through the kitchen windows at the back of the building, you can see 2 more acolytes. Glancing just off to the side to in front of the door, you see that this room is connected by another door into a hallway that leads to a staircase. The staircase is less than 5 foot from the front door, but there are 2 acolytes stood in the hallway, just one haphazardly looking up the stairs and the other talking to, kind of making, not so much talking, but making small hand signals in the manner that you've seen Inquisitors communicate with one another in the past. Long story short, there are definitively 2 people on the other side of that door.
Okay. We can't really barge in.
Right.
Someone could get to the door quickly, but there's two guys definitely in there.
So, just to clarify, that the staircase is no more than 5 feet from the front door.
Correct.
Okay, so if we just move fast enough, because we've got the element of surprise at the moment, so we could just fucking bolt it. Everybody just stack up and go.
Subil, did you only see acolytes? Did you see any of the wardens?
So there's definitely. So wait, out of character, Ben. So there were. Did I see the people with the machines?
No.
I didn't. Okay.
Right.
So
We're upstairs.
the creepy guys with the tanks, they're not in there, so they're going to be somewhere else, yeah.
We saw one of them upstairs, so let's stack up. I'll grab one. I'll stone up, grab one. Eddie, are you okay to grapple another? Just stop him from doing shit, and then...
I don't think stacking up's a good idea. That's putting us all at risk, and Subil said it's at least 5 down there, plus maybe more than 2 upstairs, maybe even...
Oh. No, I mean stack up so we can just all go in single file really quick.
No, I know what you mean. I don't think it's a good idea.
Could we climb through one of the top windows? Could we, like, get on each other's shoulders?
Maybe.
Or if there's a ladder nearby.
I think trying to sneak in upstairs is a better plan than trying to go in downstairs here.
All right.
Are there out of... Actually, no. I will actually do this in character, and I will suggest a roll for you, Ben. Can I make a perception check to see if there's any like drainage pipes or anything around like the front of the house?
Quickly before you do that, I was going to void point a ladder in. That's allowed.
Of course it is.
No, do that.
I'm going to void point a ladder. To reach, that reaches the windows.
You, upon mentioning it, you just kind of glance up and down the street. And coincidentally, about maybe 20, 30 feet up the road, you can see a carriage that's been left outside of a single shop where there's scaffolding running across the roof, and you can see them having been retarring it. And sat just on the carriage is a long ladder.
I'm going to point this out, sneak off, grab the ladder, and carry it back.
Easily done.
If you like, it's a wooden ladder. But yeah.
It's a long ladder. Ladders are long though.
Ladders are long. Okay, give me a hand. Come on, let's do this quickly and quiet.
You dart up, grab the ladder, and start making your way back. Is there anything anyone else wants to do whilst you're grabbing it?
Can I have a kind of look out on everyone to see if there's anyone nearby? Just making sure.
Do a quick insight observation check. I did so well not saying perception for ages.
That is 2.
You generate a point of momentum, glance up and down the street, and again, thankfully, barring yourselves, you don't see anyone else. It's incredibly late at this point, and even those who would have been out drinking the night before probably would have either stumbled home or stumbled into an alleyway somewhere. So you think you've got the run of the place, at least for the time being. However, one thing that you are aware of is as you're kind of stood outside and making the decisions you're making, 10 minutes have passed.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to move. We're on a very limited time frame. Okay, ladder ready to go.
Who's unlocking him? Sybil. I push Sybil onto the stairs, onto the ladder.
Lad. Good clarification.
Get the window.
I think you're on the window duty, mate.
Okay. Oh my god. I might be quiet, but
another momentum.
I'm not very quiet at climbing windows.
We're at max momentum, so just
Okay.
momentum in.
So if you're climbing up to the top, then you we're going to call this a duel check. Who's putting the ladder up?
I'll do it.
So I'm going to need a coordination stealth check from Jules in that case. Basically to just place the ladder as quietly as you physically can. You just don't want to accidentally hit the window. So it's only going to be difficulty 1, but it will have a complication range of 18.
Would urban help me in any way?
Oh, why not?
Okay.
So give that one a go.
Stealth, what was it?
Coordination.
Coordination, thanks. Okay, 2.
Wonderful. Generate a point of momentum. You slowly and carefully place the ladder onto the wall, just next to the window and on the opposite side of the downstairs window, just so the only way anyone's going to see it is if they open the door. Leaning it in place, you only need someone to go on up.
Go forth, Subil.
Okay.
Agility, stealth, difficulty 3. Complication range of 16.
There's 6 momentum.
Yeah.
So feel
You could take 3.
Is it worth taking 3? Yeah.
That's a
for an
very
extra 2
high.
dice.
Yeah, but that's a 16 complication range.
True.
Okay. Take 3 dice. 3 momentum, 2 dice. Yeah, wish me luck.
3 momentum.
So watch him clamber up the ladder, getting as far from you as physically possible. He reaches out, goes to touch the window.
I've got the ladder steady.
I'm keeping that thing set.
Yeah, that's not moving.
Can I just be keeping watch while they're doing this, just in case anyone decides to come out of the house or like down the street or anything?
Easily done.
And that's a crit, so 4 successes.
Wonderful. Generate a point of momentum. You reach it over and just start to get some idea of what may be in the room. Again, the curtain is pulled and you can't really make anything out through it. It's a heavy black curtain. The window, exactly the same as the one downstairs, is latched from the inside and would need jimmying open to allow you access. However, from your position, you can hear voices. Make an insight. I'm going to make you move again, aren't you?
I'll be quick.
Say it's a difficulty 1 check, insight, observation, focus, and hearing.
Got it. We go.
Go.
One success.
Wonderful. You keep your ear to the window and just listen in. And all you can hear in there are 2 voices. Well, 1, but another chiming in irregularly. Well, I think you're doing a wonderful job, young man. Tell you what, why don't we use the red crayons here? And you can do and you can just make that sunset really, really bright and vivid. Would you stop mollycoddling the child? He's here. He's for the Inquisition. Shh. It's just a boy. Is what you hear.
Sorry, guys. This is not gonna be a good night for you.
Oh, I feel bad. Well, Sybil's going to climb back down the ladder. Okay, I can hear 2 people upstairs. I think Sam's in there with them too. They sound like they're talking to him. I couldn't hear anyone else, but they're probably just doing their secret hand signal stuff. There's at least 2 upstairs.
In the strangest way. That is perfect for us. We've got both of the problems. Everything's in one room. Did you get the window open?
No. It's still locked.
Okay. Get the window open. And we're all just gonna fucking bum rush him. We're just gonna pile in.
How do you intend to do that from a window?
There is a ladder. You can have more than one person on a ladder.
Yeah, I think we're gonna single file on a ladder. That's all we got, hon. We don't have time.
That's not gonna work. Weight distribution's gonna make it full.
And some people could take the staircase. That's the only other way.
Further 5 minutes have passed.
Well, we'll single file through the window.
Just get that window open.
Thank you.
Sybil, get the window open, come back down. Jack, you go up there, and then we'll just go as quick as we can. It's a ladder, it's not hard to climb.
All right.
Okay. All right. Oh, God. Sybil's going to climb back up the ladder as quietly as he possibly can. And, yeah, try and unlock the window.
So this is going to be again, same thing as done earlier, a coordination engineering check. As you're doing this leaning off of a ladder, it's going to be difficulty free, and it's going to be contested by the insight observation of the people in the room.
There is 4 momentum.
Could I use a void point to say they left it open?
For a void point?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'll do that.
I was going to say, this is what you don't see with special forces.
Yeah. They left the window open.
Okay, admittedly, I didn't try and unlock it, so I just thought it was locked.
You should have done that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's fine. We'll move.
I would slap you. All right.
Can we keep the slapping until afterwards, please?
Agree.
As you go to make your way back upstairs, you start to hear whistles coming from towards where Juliana went. The sounds of a few separate signal whistles signaling to one another. One of them worryingly close.
Okay, fuck it. Let's go.
Okay.
The window's open. You nearly only need to open it.
Okay. Oh god. Okay. I just gotta psych myself up for it. Jump in, cast level 1, and then we're rolling in there. Let's go.
You're going to leap through the window and then cast the spell.
Well, it's probably going to destroy the ladder if I just gain a load of weight in one go. So.
Yeah. Just checking.
Yeah. There's no good way to do this. Let's face it.
If that's the plan.
Yeah.
I'm open to suggestions.
We got nothing else.
That's what's gonna happen.
That's what we're doing.
All right,
Very well.
let's go.
I'm taking it then. At which point, after checking it, Sybil, you clamber back down, pass on the information, and almost before the words have left your mouth, Jack is already halfway up the ladder.
Yeah, I'm behind, by the way.
Okay. You reach behind it, grab your hand under the window sill, and start to just... Are you going to try and quietly raise it, or just slam it open and then
try
leap
and
through?
get myself as far in the room as possible. The moment anything goes, then I'm fucking bolting as fast as I can go.
In which case, make me a coordination stealth check. Difficulty opposed.
Of course it is. For momentum, let's borrow 1. Why not? I mean, what could go wrong?
So many things.
Okay. Coordination stealth. It's not great.
Oh, that's what we want to hear right now.
Okay. 3 successes.
Oh, that's not bad.
High.
Oh.
Heroes wins ties, right?
You have to spend 1 momentum to break it.
So that would put us on 2 momentum. I'd say let's go with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll break the tie with that momentum.
You push the window open and start to slowly and cautiously as you can, pull yourself through it. It's an awkward angle because you're having to literally come off of the ladder at a vertical angle and then duck on in. The curtain starts to warp and push away as your weight passes through. And you hear a moment, one of the voices raise, "There's something at the window." As you're inside. It's impossible for you to hide the fact you're there, but you'll get your activation before they do.
Cool. I'm just gonna cast and sprint at the closest one.
The cast is a full round action.
I will sprint at the closest one and just try and pin them.
Oh my god.
Bursting through the curtains, you charge out, immediately seeing two wardens stood waiting, black clad again with the gold trim along their uniform. The first, the man you saw earlier, the balding chap, immediately from leaning on a wall, glancing over at what you can see to be a middle-aged woman, sat on the floor with Sam. A series of papers laid out before them, coloring pencils, toys laid out everywhere. There is a shout as you scream bloody murder and burst through. The closest to you being the man, he immediately drops to his haunches, ready to grapple with you. Make your attack check.
Let's fucking go, son. Okay, brawn athletics. Okay, here we go. We got 2 momentum. I'm debating taking one because I'll grab it. I'll take that. I'll take one. There's still one left.
Okay.
Okay, 15. 3 successes.
3 successes. Mm-hmm. You lose by 2. You charge forward and wrap your arms around the waist of the thing, of the man. He gives out an immediate shout in retaliation. "Get the child!" The woman, without breaking a movement, the second Sam's eyes lead up to you, you glance over, wrapped around the first, as you see her rip a small syringe out of her pocket and slam it into Sam's back, immediately depressing it, and you watch this thin blue liquid pump in. Sam's eyes go wide for a second before his body just goes limp and drops down. Before you have a moment to react, the man you've charged into takes both of his elbows and drops them onto your spine.
That'll suck.
You hear a slight mechanical whirring as he moves, as the alchemical rig around him activates. There's a momentary dispersal of air and liquid starting to pump, and you take 5 damage.
That is a doozy.
Oh my god.
That is a lot of pain. Yikes. No, but armor, yes.
Armor still counts here.
Cool. Yeah, I just assume shit has piercing. So
no, not at all.
Okay, cool. So that's only 2 damage.
The injury hurt. You feel it. You feel it press directly into your back. And he then, after landing the blow, wraps his arms around your stomach and just tries to pull you up into the air as he takes his action and attacks you. As that was merely losing the attack.
Yeah.
Roll it. How'd you do?
2 successes.
You lose by 2.
Yikes.
He wraps his arms around you and just pulls you bodily up. You're forced to let go as he, literally carrying your weight as if you were nothing, turns in place and slams you into the wall.
You know, maybe that was a better plan. Maybe there was.
When can
But
I
I
come
don't know
in? Am I watching this through the window like, fuck?
This is
Yo,
all
holy shit,
literally. You see Jack go through, hear him give the shout, and by the time you come up into the window pane, you see as he just gets picked off the ground and slammed into the wall for 6 points of damage.
Oh, down to 3, but yikes.
You immediately hit the wall, and the entire weight of this kind of thin wall just cracks and indents on the impact. You're sliding down as he takes a step back, and you hear just another mechanical whirring. And from your position, Jules, through the window, you watch as the very crisp lines of the warden's clothing rip as a sudden burst of mechanical movement pops through, and you see a series of small knives run down the edge of his fingers and pop as if bladed knuckle dusters.
All right, Wolverine.
I'm going to come in and just jam that syringe right in that bald head. Like, fully like...
Tell you what, we'll give you your first D20 on this is free.
Okay.
So if you want to spend momentum, you don't pay for the first dice as you've got this moment of surprise.
Does that mean if I pay for one momentum, I get an extra one, or do I have to pay for... Okay, cool.
But it is still an opposed check. You've just got a better chance.
Yeah. So that'll
There's
be
1 momentum if you want it.
4 momentum overall to at least get one of them out.
Okay.
Okay. What would it be? Sorry, fighting.
This will be agility, fighting, and opposed by him.
Okay. Okay, so that's 4.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just 4.
Just 4 successes.
Just 4 successes.
You beat him by 2.
Yes!
Nice.
Right in his noggin!
You say just 4 like that.
What?
Like,
No, I had to say just 4 because I don't know what he's getting.
okay.
You slam the
scared.
needle down and watch it just pierce through through the flesh of the skull. As you said, you are slamming quite a thick needle down into the head, and immediately depress it. I'm going to make him roll a check for this at severe penalties.
It's going directly into his brain.
Yeah, it is. The needle depressed is, and you watch him go from perfectly ready and able to tear into Jack directly in front of him. As you pull the needle back out, you realize that part of it is actually snapped off and is still stuck in his head.
Oh my god.
He shakes in place, quivers, and just drops down to one knee. You see him just twist to look at you as foam starts building up around his mouth, dribbling out as his eyes go bloodshot red. His pulse increases to such a heavy level that you can see the blood in his eyes fluctuating before it bursts. He just falls dead to the side.
We had one job!
Cecily!
He rolled 2 complications on his resistance check.
Oh,
It's not entirely our fault. He's just got a shit immune system.
Does
right?
that go to my chaos? Because technically that was your fault then.
No, I'm not going to charge you for that.
Yes, okay, that's fine.
Right, okay, then no worries.
You, as I say, you reach in, slam the thing down and pull back. Immediately after you do so, the body drops and the warden across the room from you lets out an enormously powerful shout and just calls out, "They're here!" Reaches
Here we go.
to the other side of their jacket, at this point having just splayed their coat open, pulling out a flare gun and aiming past you and out of the window. They thumb back the trigger and fire.
Well,
I'm going to give you an option.
Can I?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, to be in the way of it.
Yeah.
Can I
Just
not just
tank the shot?
pull the curtain?
Not
I
really.
did just climb through it.
Yeah. It's quite a high velocity shot. It would probably go through the curtain.
Okay.
Go through a window.
The
If I
window's
had
open.
if I had a
If
void
she
point,
slams it shut.
if I had a void point, I'd say that Edlynnne was half up the ladder and takes a shot, but I can't get my void point. So,
Yeah, Edlynnne
and I doubt,
catches it and then
I
eats
doubt
it.
Ben would let me. And I doubt Ben would let me use Guardian because I never stated I was up the ladder, so...
Unfortunately not, as no one else is stated to be in the ladder. I'm going to have to take it as it is.
No,
I'll take it.
Okay,
If I could, I'd like to knuckle duster it. I'd love to punch it. Just as he gets out, just.
We'll see how bad their shot is, I suppose.
Top 10 Felician fights, Jules versus flare gun.
They fire the flare gun and you immediately just see the round spit out. You dive in front of it. Unfortunately, that was an incredibly accurate shot on their part, with 2 crits. I'm going to need to ask you to make an agility athletics check here.
Agility athletics. I'm not that bad at it.
Okay.
Well, I'm not great at it, but I'm not that bad at it.
It's going to be difficulty 3.
There's 1 momentum.
If you get more than that, I'll allow you to pull the damage level of the hit down.
The momentum's there.
Definitely take the momentum.
Yeah.
Do you have Void? Because you could set one of those to a crit and then take the momentum and definitely reduce the damage.
All I can think about is the wish that you said for my birthday.
Yeah.
What I really want to happen is use the wish when I implanted the guy in the head with or whatever. I wanted him to see it and then faint. And be like, no, Gary, and then fully faint.
Like
but that might be too
gory, such a gory display of murder.
For the note to our lovely viewers.
Or something similar.
Every year, obviously, people have birthdays, and what we like to do is allow anyone in-game who has their birthday around the session to have a single wish. One I cannot refute, but I can attempt to twist. I am going to let this one go, though. She fires the shot. It definitively leaves, but as she kind of aims through the window and goes to pull the trigger, her eyes dart back down to her age-old friend, the man she's been serving with the wardens for the last 15 to 20 years.
Okay.
And the image of his death fills her with fear and disgust. She fires the shot but pulls it down at the last moment, her entire body kind of retching, and it slams into the wall just besides the window, immediately sending this cascade of light and hot phosphorus out immediately into the room. The impact is blinding, and every single one of you has to pull your eyes away from it or risk literally losing your sight in the instant. The next thing that happens is, as you just see the sparks and this bright light spread out, the curtain catches fire. The carpet in the room also catches fire and begins to spread out rapidly. Jack, from your position, you pick yourself up and pull away just as it starts racing towards you. Jules, much the same, you back off to the side, leaving the room slowly or quite rapidly starting to catch fire. Sam unconscious on the other end of the room, and you can rapidly hear footsteps charging up the stairs.
Question.
Answer.
Is Sam... Did you say Sam was in the was being held by the other warden or not?
No. So she reached over, injected him, and just let him drop as she went for the flare gun.
Right. Okay.
And as you quickly ponder over what to do, we're going to pop for a quick break. So we can really dive into this for the remaining time. We'll be gone for the next 5 to 10 minutes, probably 10. And then we'll jump straight back in and see where we go. See you soon. Hello again. Welcome back, and let's jump straight back in and not lose any of our momentum. But ching. Right. As we last left it, the room that both Jack and Jules were in, alongside one very deceased warden, another one just clinging to the contents of their stomach, and the unconscious Sam. A flare, having gone off in the room, has started to spread fire along the interior of it, and you can hear footsteps rapidly starting to charge up the stairs towards you. Outside, we find both Cecily stood on a ladder preparing to enter herself before everything that has just unfolded has, and both Edlynnne and Subil down at the base of the ladder, only merely hearing everything that's just happened. Your first indication to anything else having gone horrendously wrong is the sudden bright flash of red that rips through the window, and the immediate sign of fire catching the curtains are beginning to spread outwards. Over to one of you. Who would like to take the action?
Well, I would like to look over at Subil and be like, I guess they kind of fucked it.
You think? What do we do?
This is going to be stupid, but let's roll with it. You and Cecily stay here. I'll go to the front, try to cause a distraction. Get Sam out.
Oh my god. Okay.
And then
the door's in front of you.
Yeah, I would literally just like we have unlocked, haven't we? We have. I remember that. I'd like to just go in, and knowing, because Juliana told me last week, not last week, she told me a few minutes ago when I last saw her, that Canehurst is looking for me, and apparently I may not be killed on sight. Just be literally just shout of them going, what's the best thing to say? Oh, being like, hey, instead of like going to chase after the little kid, why not come for someone who can actually fight back? And then if there's anything to throw at them, literally petty, and then run after throwing.
You boot the door open and it slams in immediately, and directly in front of you, you can see already 3 of the acolytes are up the stairs. You can see them pulling pistols out of their belts with swords in hand, twisting around to see what's going on the second floor. The moment the door hits the side, the 2 that were making their way into the entranceway stop in place, and your attention catches theirs. They stare at you and upstairs ever so slightly before they just kind of grip the pistol, and you bellow your insult at them. Make me I'm going to say brawn persuasion check of a difficulty of 1.
Oh, deception would. If I knew I should have put intimidation, but it's fine. You said difficulty of 1, yeah?
Yep.
Oh, I can give you 2.
Even better. You generate a momentum, and your insult it very, very heavily catches their attention. The first one just shouts up, "Get those! We'll go after her!" Raises the pistol in your direction and cocks it back. You've still got the rest of your action.
Yeah, just literally knowing I've got their attention, start legging it to see. Even if it's just 2, that's 2 less people the rest of the group have to worry about. But like, I want to like literally run out the house and like the different corner from where Cecily and Subil are hiding.
Neither of them are really hiding, unfortunately. Like, you're just out in the street.
Yeah, but like kind of out of viewish, you know?
You bolt back out of the door and just twist in the opposite direction that you knew they were. Immediately, they dart out after you, moving straight down the initiative order to the acolytes themselves. We'll split them into 2 groups, and we'll start with the ones that are coming out after you. 2 of them bolt out, charging after as you dart down the street. Subil and the ladder and Cecily directly to their left. I'm going to make a quick check for them. It's a complication. They don't even catch them. They're lying.
Tunnel vision.
Basically, just standing there as they run past.
Tunnel vision to the max.
Wow, that's amazing.
Unfortunately, one thing they do is track their pistols in your direction and take a couple of shots.
That's fine.
Both of them swing down, aiming for your legs as you take off.
That's fine, yeah.
It's going to make their shots more difficult, however.
Fine.
2 shots fly straight past you, impacting into the ground and sending a volley of sparks up as you just continue to bolt. They keep charging, blades now drawn, cocking back the pistol again, each of them carrying revolvers, and just again trying to take another line of sight shot at you
I would just
as
say,
you charge off.
would I be able to quickly just shout, "Is that the best you got?" when they first miss? Just to really try to rile them on. Like I'm trying to rile them to get angry and just keep focus on me.
Of course you can. You bellow your insult at them and continue to charge down the road. It twists off to essentially hits a bit of a kind of crossroad. You can either go left down towards the docks, right further into town, or straight down, which will lead you kind of up towards the bridges.
I say go further into town because I want to try to lead them away from the docks and bridges. I don't know. Eddie wouldn't know exactly how it's set, so I'm not going to know exactly how it's set. I don't want to take the risk of that being the bridge that she knows is being occupied for the thing. Absolutely
fine. You twist right and just start charging deeper into Old Town. To over to either Cecily or Subil.
Sorry. So what I'm probably going to do, because I'm up this ladder and I can probably see into the room, if I can see Jules or Jack and basically the mess that's going on in there, like through the flames and whatnot, and just try and get one of them to pass Sam to me so I can get him out of the room.
Okay. Let's ask you to make it'll be a will tactics check or will persuasion to essentially kick one of them into gear enough that they just, without really thinking about it, they just move.
Okay.
So we're going to call this difficulty 2.
Okay, well, I've only got 7.
There is 2 momentum.
Can I assist in any way?
Not really from where you are.
Yeah.
You're in that really awkward position where you can see Edlynnne charge off, you can hear everything that's going on upstairs, but you're kind of just jumping in place going, I don't know what's going on.
Can I just attempt to get Jules' attention rather than get her attention to then give me Sam? Can I just get her attention?
Yeah, there's no check for just getting her attention, but if you wanted her to actually do anything this turn, it would require a check.
Just try.
Okay, fine, I'll just try. All I've got is 7 will. Am I allowed 1 more dice?
No. There you go.
Thank you. Right, okay. 7 to beat. Because I have no persuasion and no whatever the other thing was. Tactics.
1. That's what I'm fucking talking about.
Natural 1!
Yeah.
Oh, my first time.
Jules. How are you going to urge Jules into action, Lynn?
I'm just going to basically sort of, maybe not yell too much, but just like, just be really insistent. I still have 1 more dice to roll, so I'm going to do that as well.
See if there's momentum.
Okay, that's 1 success, and then a natural momentum. 1, and then a failure, but no complications.
That's momentum.
Basically, Jules.
What would my extent of movement be? Would I be able to move in front of the kid to kind of, so it doesn't get picked up by the other guy?
Yeah, for what this is, it will just be you, upon the urging, you just charge forwards, rush up, you grab Sam, the warden already retching her guts out over the floor, stumbles in, and you can see the rig running along her spine with an ejector port just placed kind of just below the neckline.
But it hasn't been injected yet.
It hasn't been injected yet, no.
Okay.
As Jules passes Sam to me, can I just kind of like basically drop the syringe in the room like next to Jules's feet as Sam's being passed over to me? So at least Jules has a second syringe to take down there.
It'll cost you a point of momentum, but I'm happy to let it happen.
Is that okay?
Yeah. We have 2 momentum at the moment, so yeah.
Cool.
Jules, you snatch Sam up and charge across the room. He's light, almost weightless in your arms, but definitively dead weight. His arms are just loose and floppy. You can see the needle that's been removed has just completely knocked him out. You rush through the fire, passing him over to Cecily, who, as you take him, you just drop the needle down with her.
And then I guess Subil can take the kid down, right? Unless Subil is shitting himself.
I mean, Subil can
this
try.
This all happened in like 6 seconds.
Yeah, more or less.
What the fuck has happened? However, As you hand Sam over, the door to the room opens. And you see as you just kind of twist back to see Jack, this is directly in front of you as you're parallel to the door. One acolyte just swings the door open, kicking it free, and just raising a pistol through to try and work out what the hell's going on. Tracks the warden, the corpse, Jack, the person at the window, and just runs a very rapid threat assessment, which is going to say they shoot Jules.
Oh, no.
Not Jules.
That's a yikes.
That's a big yikes.
You take 4 damage.
And do I armor or anything?
Armor will still be relevant here.
Okay, so I don't take any damage.
What? You have 4 armor?
I have 4 armor.
God damn!
Yeah.
The shot impacts into. Is that just sheer fucking will, or are you wearing armor? Remind me.
I've got hard as nails, so I'm.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Well, I know what I'm fucking picking up.
The shot impacts into you, just runs past your shoulder. From Cecily's perspective, you see the shot run over her, cut through her clothing, and just send the small spattering of blood out. To which Jules' reaction is just to...
I
basically, if anything, I basically stop, give the kid back, and I just turn around and I'm just going...
Cecily's like, yeah, she's fine, and just starts like slowly making her way carefully back down that ladder.
Jules is fucking squaring up. She's ready to go.
Yeah, Jules has been in a lot of bar fights, guys.
Jules a bad bitch.
Yeah.
You square on up as you see the other 2 acolytes coming up behind them. One of which literally just places the pistol on the shoulder of his ally and takes another shot.
Shit.
Go on, just tank it.
Hitting.
Oh. Go on, tank the damage.
Dealing exactly 4 points of damage. The never shot just flies straight past you, sending a...
I'm like standing perfectly still and it's missing me. Like, perfectly.
Just intimidation.
Just an outline of my body.
You can still see the others moving up behind, but they don't have a clear firing line, and they've spent their entire turn to move into position.
That is class.
If they've all... They're kind of next to each other, aren't they?
Correct.
On the stairs. So someone...
They're up and around, so the stair loops onto a hallway, and you're on the furthest end of the hallway. There is a banister behind them.
Or I would say, if someone to rugby tackle them quite fast in one direction, wouldn't they fall over like dominoes?
In theory.
Okay. Just throwing it.
Just anybody really.
Outside, however, Subil.
The person certainly not running at people to cause them to fall over like dominoes. I mean, Sybil's still in shock. Currently, last thing I've seen, red light, 2 people after Edlynnne. What happened to the plan? I guess currently seeing Cecily, I guess trying to get Sam out of the windows.
Yeah,
I currently see that. I mean, I'll do what I can to try and... Oh, God, I'm going to have to...
Yeah.
I'm not... Yeah, okay. Well, doing what I can to try and get Sam's body down from the 2nd floor.
I suppose I need to ask the question of, are you going to try and rapidly climb up the ladder, take Sam, and then make your way back down, or yell the phrase I somewhat dread of, I'll catch him?
Oh, God.
I mean, my plan was to carry him.
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah.
I just need Subil to keep an eye on me just while I lower, and if I slip or something, then you can catch him. But right now, I think just keep an eye on proceedings.
Okay, I'll keep an eye on the ladder. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, keep an eye on the ladder. That's a good idea.
In which case,
we'll keep an eye on the ladder.
as you're focusing your attention on kind of what's going on around you more than anything else, and you're not being as kind of dragged into the moment as everyone else, you get a bit more of an idea of what's happening outside of your immediate vicinity. More whistles are still emanating out from the north, back towards the Dawn Docks, but several of them have come close enough that you can quite easily pick out the direction, including a street or two away from you, another coming from deeper in the city that would need to go past you to reach the whistles. Of course, then the gunshots and the fire, you can already see smoke starting to plume out of the window and go up into the sky. It hasn't gone to any great height yet because it's only just started, but you can see it beginning. And as you glance down the street, you can see lights at a far distance of hand lanterns being carried, even as you watch Edlynnne just dart up a street heading in a different direction and trailing 2 acolytes with them. To say that shit has hit the proverbial.
we need
Just
a
a
smoke
little
grenade.
Who has the
Basically.
smoke grenades?
Is it just you?
Don't think I. Let me just check my notes, but I don't think I handed them to anyone.
I don't believe you did.
No, I didn't. No, they're on me.
Which brings us back to the top of the action. Who would like to go first?
Well, it's got to be one of us, Max.
I guess I could grab the syringe and shove it in the other person's face.
Yeah.
Phrasing.
Sorry,
Jeez.
neck.
Yes.
Then
Non-lethal
won't be
area.
able to breathe. That's a very lethal area too. Yeah, I could do that, or you could go big. Or
I'd
go home.
say you go first.
Okay.
Put the bigger thing, and then you might get momentum. Then we can keep then we can keep the initiative, and if that, then I'll go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and stab.
Okay.
Because he's vomiting. Of course, I guess.
Yep. Yep. You pull your blade free and dart forward. Your blade? Sorry. You pull the syringe off the ground and dart forward, taking advantage of the moment, then being on the ground.
Hold on. He hasn't injected yet. Hold on. He hasn't injected. What's the point of me injecting him?
I'm afraid.
But I've already done it. I'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take it.
Yeah.
You move past the 2 acolytes at the door who take the opportunity to try and push through in their action, and slam the needle down onto the back of the woman. Make an agility fighting check for me, please. It is, of course, opposed.
There's one momentum. I'd say it might be worth spending your void to make one of those a crit just outright.
I don't have any voids.
That is a yikes.
So I could take a momentum plus an extra one because he's vomiting. Because she's vomiting. That's 4 overall. I think that'd be enough.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's fighting. What? Agility?
Agility fighting.
Okay. Okay, that's 2 passes.
Okay.
2.
That is 4 passes.
Okay.
Right.
And out here with crit.
Go to swing the syringe down to her exposed back. As you do, despite the retching, her training seems to kick in, and she just rolls out of the way. Your needle flies past and impacts into the ground. You manage to stop yourself just immediately injecting it and wasting the dose, but you miss. She got 3 successes, even with an automatic failure.
Okay, and then I have
you got
my
4
movement left.
Oh,
yeah, I got 4.
Oh, sorry, I heard 2. I do apologize.
No. I got I got 2 in the first 2 dice, and then the next 2. So
I
that's 4 overall.
apologize. Completely different fucking thing.
Okay, cool.
Wait a minute.
You slam the needle down, and having seen the possible fate that could have happened, slightly to the left, the needle slams into her back, and you immediately depress it. You watch her just kind of tense up and react. Her shoulders go taut and she pulls back slightly, the drug immediately flooding her system. It being a heavy stimulant at the end of the day. I believe it was, no, I'm sorry, it was a knockout drug you made, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. It doesn't even interact with what's already, well, with what she has. She just needs to make a check against it. She tenses up, turns her eyes to you. You watch as she again reaches in for the pistol on her belt, pulls it free, drags it slowly up in your direction, and before it can even level, she just kind of collapses to her arm and falls unconscious on the floor.
Cool. Can I use my rest of my movement to get back to the ladder? I'm not going to... I doubt I'll be able to get out, but I can get by it.
Yeah, you'll just get to the ladder. Unfortunately, at this point, as you turn and start rushing back, the fire at this point has spread a lot more into the room. And it's going to be difficult for you to escape out of that window without potentially catching fire.
That is
we know what we must do.
Burn, baby, burn. No?
No,
Do I?
Wasn't going there. I was going a different route. Push people down the stairs and just walk over them.
Yes, except I can jump out a window.
Okay, fair, but like that's a full story drop, so
I'll roll it.
2-story drop. You're on a second floor.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
two
stories isn't that tall.
I mean, I wouldn't like to jump out of my window right now, but you know.
I'm not saying it's going to be a good idea. I'm just saying I might sprain an ankle. I ain't going to die.
However, you charge forward, kind of stopping as the flames have rushed out in front of you. Just have a moment where you glance at the flames, glance at the window, and then remember the people behind you. As two acolytes step through, pushing their pistols to one side and moving in to strike at you with their swords.
Can I spend a void point to keep the momentum?
Yes.
Or initiative? Okay, I'll do what was discussed. So before they all come out of this nice bunched up group, push.
The only way you're going to be able to do it is to literally run with them. Just pushing them isn't going to give you the momentum you need. You are strong. You are not strong enough to push 4 people over. You are going to need to barrel through them.
I have...
5, 4, 3, 2.
Question.
Yeah.
Can I use my momentum to keep the initiative to basically make Jules use a second, keep the initiative and use a second? Okay, then I will just have to follow through with that, I guess.
Okay, go for it. It's a brawn athletics check, my friend.
Is this considered part of my movement or an action?
This will be both, really.
I would really like to have cast. Can I just...
Casting is a 4-round action. It will eat up your entire turn.
Oh, so even my movement as well?
Even your movement.
Okay, then. Sure. I guess we'll just fucking... It'll incapacitate everybody for a bit at least. So if it all going well, I'm going to take that last...
It's going to be an opposed check against them as a team.
Not a fan of this anymore, but you know, I've committed to it now. And that dice will not be on the floor. Get back here, you little bugger. Take that last momentum so I can have 3 dice. Oh, God, I see the fucking funeral already. Okay. Well, that's 2 crits and a success.
You beat them by 3.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
You
I like
charge
this game.
forwards, dropping yourself, doing the exact same thing as you did with the other, and
Just better.
grab the first as they draw their blades and move in behind Jules. You snatch one, grab the other as you push through the doorway, and barrel into the remaining. There is a horrifying crunch as you drive the last of them through the banister and down the stairwell. You tumble down with them.
Can I spend 2 momentum to say I don't go with them?
You will stop at the edge of the stairwell if you do it that way.
That's fine. Just I don't want to be in the pile with them.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 momentum, right?
2 momentum.
Lovely.
Roll damage. I'd like you to roll your normal unarmed damage with 2 additional dice, please.
So 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 5 points of damage. Oh, that's cocked. That's also cocked. There we go. What? So 2. That's a shame because one of those was a 2. So that's 2, 4, 5 points of damage.
Okay. We'll deal that to them as a collective.
Okay.
You slam them through and you hear the horrible crunch as you see them drop down the stairs and roll. One of them hits the stairs themselves, has another one land on top, and you just see their body go taut and then break as their spine hits the stairs.
Oh.
They're not dead,
Their
though.
eyes just go lifeless straight away.
Shit.
Oh my god.
Really sorry about that, guys. Really sorry.
It could be knocked out. You
Could
don't
be.
know.
We're not the baddies. We're not the baddies.
I really think we are the baddies.
We're 100% the bad guys.
2 more of them roll down the stairs and hit the base. You can see them starting to try and collect themselves as they hit. Their eyes still wide, anger rife on their face as they try to pull themselves up as unsteadily as physically possible. The third, having landed as hard as they have, is just out of it at this point. Dead, unconscious, you have no idea.
Okay. Let's hope that they're unconscious.
Yeah.
Let's
In a
hope.
burning building.
In a
They
rapidly
saw
burning building.
friends.
At which point you step back.
Yeah.
You can see the eyes of the ones who are still with it, however much they are, catch yours, and as they start to try and pick themselves up and move, you dart back into the room, the fire having still spread outwards. It's now wrapped around the far edge. You glance to the left to see the drawings that Sam had been working on just starting to crinkle up and blacken as the fire licks across.
If I've got any free action, I want to just grab the best looking one.
Unfortunately, do
The
not.
one that's still the least burnt, I should rephrase, not
Unfortunately, you don't. Especially seeming as this happens for both you and Jules and Cecily, this point the smoke is starting to gather. There's a thick amount of it rising up to fill the room. Your eye line, as you even notice the curling flames, is starting to darken. Next person's turn.
I really wanted to know if any of their toys were in the room.
Subil or Cecily want to take a turn?
Cecily's action will be getting Sam down this ladder without falling off or dropping Sam.
Make me a quick coordination athletics check, difficulty of 1, complication range of 19.
Can Subil assist?
Yes.
Please
In
do,
which
because
ways I will.
I have no athletics, so it's pure coordination at this stage.
There is 1 momentum.
I will leave. I've got 11.
Okay.
I'm just
I
going to
also
trust my
laugh at
dice because I've got 2. I've got 2 natural ones so far, so please don't stop now.
That's true. Oh, I don't like that face.
1 success. I got a 7 and a. What was the complication range?
19.
Okay, it was a 16, so we're fine. That's 1 success and 1 other thing, failure.
Okay, and anything from Subil?
Nothing from me. Failure.
You simply pass. You clamber down the ladder as quickly as you physically can. It's difficult with, albeit a light dead weight, still a dead weight clasped in your arms. You make your way down to Subil. As you can see very briefly through the kind of silhouette, you hear this horrible cracking and crushing sound. The door, which was left open, you glance in to see the guards, the acolytes, collapse down the stairs. You hear that crack as one of their backs give, and the two that landed closest to the door, their eyes go up towards Jack as he disappears, from what you're aware. They then twist back, realizing the door is open, and see you.
Okay.
They have had their turn this round, however.
Oh gosh.
No witnesses.
I'm only going to claim that as your movement. You still have an action.
I still have an action. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is lob. I'm assuming I've got like Sam over my shoulders like fireman's carry, so I still have a hand free. I'm just gonna lob a smoke bomb in there and then just try and get away. Even though I'm not particularly athletic and I'm carrying a child, I'm gonna get away as fast as I can. I'm gonna head back. I'm gonna head for a carriage. The carriage
It's not
we saw.
that heavy.
So you are either heading back towards the stables you were in previously or the carriage up the road. Keep in mind the carriage up the road didn't have anything attached to it. It was just a carriage. You are on a slightly sloping hill, but you know.
No, we all know how that goes.
I think I will aim for
Tokyo Drift kind of vibe.
aim for stables. Aim for stables.
Okay.
That's got a fast-moving animal in it.
In which case, can you make me a coordination explosives check, difficulty 1, just to make sure this lands in the right place?
I have a focus in explosives.
Hey, look at it go.
It's 9. It's 2 successes.
Wonderful, generating momentum. The smoke bomb lands in between them as the kind of two of them, one splits their attention up the stairs, one at you, goes to very shakily draw their gun once again from the floor where they've dropped it. And as they reach down, the smoke bomb just rolls next to their hand and boom, goes, sending this lick of black smoke up into the air and immediately obscuring their vision. They are out for the count, or at the very least blinded for the moment. Which brings us to the next actions, which are the acolytes giving chase to Eddie. Further down the street, from your perspective, Edlynnne, you twist around the corner and just start charging up towards Old Town. As you do so, you can see in the far distance a flickering number of lights moving towards you, coming from where you know previously the Protectorate station to be.
Yeah.
Maybe a few streets around, but in that rough direction.
That's
the
right,
lights themselves continue to push towards you, and as you kind of your eyes focus to the differing light levels in your rapid movement, I'm going to spend 4 chaos. And at the head, charging straight down the street,
Which one?
you see a billowing black cloak with red hem clasped around a man in white armor with a long blade hanging at his hip, a solid silver mask clasped around his face. You can't make out the eyes, and you've only heard of Lord Purifier Canehurst.
Yeah, this is the guy who wants me. That's fine. That's fine. I wasn't.
How many momentums can we change to truth?
You can't change truths with momentum unless it directly links to a skill test you have just done.
Okay.
This is fine. This is fine. Is it still
As
technically? Yeah, I say it's still technically go, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You notice them. He's quite a distance off, but the horse is barreling towards you. The only way you can even recognize him is just this pitting fear in your stomach. As you see them, there's a couple of gunshots that go off behind you, and 2 shots just fly past, potentially into you. No, not on those rolls, they bloody don't. They just fly straight past, cutting through the air. One even briefly hits the iron of your skull and glances off, impacting into a wall next to you. It worries you that the only reason you feel it is because your head moves slightly. There's no sensation of touch.
That's okay. Put that in the mind bank. We'll deal with that later. So you said I'm running down the street, right? Are there any like alleyways or something I can potentially go down?
Do you mean
I don't
insight,
care. Yeah, I don't care.
Insight observation, just the one.
Insight observation. Okay, Eddie, do good things, please. I need this. Insight observation. No, 2 failures there. So
you glance up and down the street, and you can't see anything. You don't know if it's the lights approaching you. You don't know if it's the speed you're moving. If there is an alleyway, you get this horrifying feeling you may have passed it. The only option seems to either be continue forward or twist in place and run back the opposite direction. Even glancing over your shoulder, though, you see the two acolytes there charging towards you, having kind of still trying to take pot shots with their pistols.
Could she not run through like a house or something?
She could theoretically barrel through a door. There are loads of those.
I've seen what happens when we go barreling into places.
What's the worst? What's the worst one that happened?
This one.
All right.
I'm not
seems
with
so
you
good
guys.
so
I'm
far.
not with you guys.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
What's it going to be?
I am going to do the thing they probably least expect me to do, and turn around and try to charge back through them.
Yeah. You
Bowling ball
twist,
kind of style. Yeah.
set your shoulders, and run.
Yeah.
I can only really think of you doing the same thing I made Jago do. Make me a brawn athletics check as you just charge at them. You twist, you kind of see their expressions go from determination to surprise to shock as they rapidly reach for their swords.
Yeah.
Go for it.
That is a natural 1 and a 5, so 3 passes from me.
You beat them by 1. You roll through into them. And before they've even drawn their blades, you shoulder barge both, sending them sprawling out in opposite directions and hitting the ground.
I don't have a void point. I was about to say, could I like reach out and try to grab a sword just so I've got a weapon in case I need it?
You can spend 2 momentum.
Do we have the momentum to spend?
We have 3.
Then I'm spending 2 because I need a weapon, please. Thank you.
You reach out and snatch up one of their blades as it kind of flies from their hand. It's not a great sword, but it will do. Having a quick glance over it, it does 3 base damage and has piercing 1.
Cool. Piercing. That goes in salvo, right?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Effective. Yeah. Cool.
You continue to. I assume you're running back the way you came.
Yes, because hopefully, obviously, I'm not trying to cause them damage, but hopefully, by the time they get up, they can kind of explain themselves to Kanehurst, and I can kind of already be back and helping the people. Hopefully, we'll be far enough away that shit doesn't hit the fan more.
It's a good theory. You charge through them and loop back around the corner, running up to see immediately illuminated by the now rapidly burning building. Sam,
good.
Cecily, and Subil all stood at the base of the ladder.
Good. Swearing and wishing, but I'm just going to keep going.
Which then brings us to one of them, who is very simply going to be Justica or Lord Purifier Kanehurst.
I'm ready for a showdown. I'm ready.
I want to see a stat sheet.
I know.
The horse continues to plow through the streets, and you can hear the rapidly approaching sound of hooves on cobblestones, as well as orders being bellowed from a deep, imperious voice. Cut off the streets! No one leaves here alive!
Could we make an exception to that?
One of you. I believe that leaves you with Subil.
Oh, God. Well, seeming as I am currently with Cecily and Sam, could I... Sybil's going to probably just start leading them and start running. If they're out there, we're not waiting for people to regroup. We are heading down to... Which boat first? It was to...
Dusk first.
Dusk Docks, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start leading Cecily and presumably who's carrying Sam through the back streets and alleys. I want to particularly avoid wherever I heard whistles from earlier, or where I imagine they would, like the direct routes towards us and where those directions were. I'll try and avoid those and try and sneak, but quickly.
Okay, in which case I'm going to have to say you can do one or the other. You can either do this sneakily or really put thought into the path you're taking.
Right. Okay. Currently, we haven't been spotted though, right?
Well, the last thing you have seen from
That we
your
know of.
position is Edlynnne having run down the street seconds ago. You glance back down to see her bursting back from the other direction, now clasping a sword. And I don't know. Holly, how would you describe Edlynne's expression?
Let's see. This is a good question. Imagine you really pissed off a teacher, a parent figure, all your friends, mixed with the confusion, shock, and disappointment of many other people. The best way I can't do that face, but the best way you can imagine that. And who just emailed me at this time?
That face, okay.
You see that?
As I was
Classic
talking about
meme.
teachers, it was my teacher.
You said, what about me?
She heard.
And even over the roar of everything else, you hear the whistles, you hear a heavy voice on the wind bellowing above the sound of everything else. And you're the only person to have ever heard him speak before.
Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. That's not a sneaky voice. That's a let's run as fast as we possibly can voice. Yeah. I'm gonna push Cecily and Sam, and if Holly and I make eye contact, then wave her over to the direction that we're going. But if not, sorry.
I can.
We're going.
I'll just go with the perception of if she sees you running, she's gonna follow after.
That's it.
Okay. You're just charging off then as rapidly as physically possible.
Don't have time to wait for everyone else. No way.
Assuming still towards the stables / the docks where you know your ship to be waiting.
Heading towards the ship at this point, where
Cool.
presumably everyone knows that we're heading. If not, they know that where the ship is heading, so we can reconvene there.
Break, sprinting away from the ladder, and only catching a brief glimpse back through the window to see Jack, more precisely Jules, on the other side, just looking out of it, trying to work out what to do next. Cecily and Sam, literally feet behind you as you dart off. Brings you back to the top of the action. Who is going first?
Yeah.
You go, Jules.
So, because I'm out the window, I'm seeing all of this.
Hmm?
Right. And whereabouts did the smoke bomb hit?
Downstairs, the front door, basically. Your line of
So
sight is...
So if I climbed out the window, would I be seen or would I be blocked by the smoke?
So at the moment, your line of sight is quite heavily hampered from the smoke rapidly filling the room you're in anyway. If you were to climb out the window, you would be more obscured by the smoke from the fire than the smoke bomb itself.
Okay. Is there a window on the exact opposite side?
Yes.
Of the house?
You don't know, to be honest. From the room you're in, it goes onto a completely blank wall. If you were to run out into the hallway, you could check.
Okay.
So make
on the opposite wall, maybe.
I can do that. And
then I would jump out that wall.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
All right.
Let's
You'll have to wait
this.
till my turn, but yeah.
Well, no, because it's kind of the same time, basically.
You can take the action instead.
Okay.
As Jules hasn't actually done anything yet.
Okay. I'm gonna have to waste a turn casting though. That's the one caveat to this.
Okay, then I'll climb out the window and try and catch up with the others.
Okay. You rush through the flames. You'll immediately take a little bit of damage from it.
That's fine.
And this is going to bypass armor. You take 2 points of fire damage, and unfortunately your dress catches fire.
Oh.
Okay.
You clamber into the window and start rushing out. Immediately, you glance down, just this level of heat racing up you to see that the hem on your left-hand side of your dress has just started to catch flame and is rapidly running up, just eating the fabric as it moves. But you get out the window, start clambering down, and just about meet Breton to the end as you glance down the street.
And see Cane House.
And it's at that exact moment, as we move on to the Inquisition's turn, Edlynnne rush around the corner and start pushing up the street quite heavily, getting to within about medium distance to you, passing several houses.
I feel like I know what's about to say, and I'm not ready for it.
At the same time, you hear shouts and screams from the buildings next to you as the gunshots, the screaming, the fire have started to draw people out of their sleep, and windows have started to open. Lights are snapping on up and down the street. Doors next to you, so the next building along, swing open as a man steps out carrying a large rolling pin and just staring off into space. You glance at them, back down to Edlynnne, as you see a horse peel from around the corner, a heavy black robe or cloak pulling out into the air around it as this heavily white-robed figure charges round. You can see the armor in place, and as you look down, your eyes play from the horse up into this solid silver mask where there only lies singular eye holes. And these piercing blue eyes catch yours, and you feel nothing but hatred. I also need you to make a will resilience check, as even spotting him at this distance is terrifying. It is difficulty 2, and failure will cause you to take 7 dice worth of mental stress. With stun.
Oh my god.
So welcome to Dark Souls, everyone.
How'd you do?
Come on, Holly, say something.
Oh, is that me?
Oh no, this is Max.
Oh, this is me?
Yeah, sorry, it's your line of sight that we were tracking.
Right, I thought it was Edlynnne the whole time.
No, Edlynn's back is to him. She hasn't locked
I
eyes
don't
with
like.
him yet.
Which
So
I
I've locked eyes.
Yep, you've locked eyes with him from a distance.
Sorry, will resilience.
I just thought you were being like painfully senseful.
No, sorry. Will resilience, right?
Will resilience.
That is 3, because I got a natural 1 and a 2.
Well done. You managed to pull your gaze away from his, but for his turn, as the horse rushes around the corner, blade in hand, he pulls himself up. You watch him literally place a foot onto the back of the horse and leap.
This would to die. This would be cool way to die.
Edlynnne.
Use his horse.
I become the horse. No, yes. What am I rolling?
Please make an agility fighting test opposed by by Aldrich Canehurst.
Aldrich. How many titles does this man have?
Oh, his name is Aldrich Canehurst, Lord Purifier of the Inquisition.
Melee weapons wouldn't help because I'm not actually using my melee weapons this would I?
Oh, you've got the sword that you borrowed. It is a melee weapon, so it definitely applies.
Agility fighting, yeah?
Agility fighting.
Shit, okay.
I think his name was like Derek or something.
And we would all fear the name Derek.
Derek Canehurst. Yeah.
How did you do?
I got a 4 and a 17, so that's 1 pass, and that was very close to getting a fucking complication, but just a 1 pass. I'm guessing you got more, so just give me the damage.
You swing your blade up as he literally leaps from the horse and brings his sword down in a flash of silver and metal. The blade cuts, severing your sword in half and sending a long cut running past it straight across your chest and leading down towards your stomach. Hey.
Oh no.
I don't like that face.
11 damage with piercing 1.
Fuck. Oh no! I've got armor 5. That means it bypasses one of my armor.
1 point of it, so it's down from 11
to 10.
to 10.
Which is...
No, 11 down by 4.
Oh, down by 4, which is still an injury. Which yes, yeah.
It would still be an injury.
Okay, hold on. Let me do maths. 5, 9, 8, 9, 8.
Fuck all of that noise.
So you're saying it's going down, so it's not 11, but it's
7.
7 damage.
Thank you. Fuck's sake. Okay, no, it's fine. It happened. It happens.
For the note, you lost by 5.
I was expecting. That's fine.
5?
Rolled 6 successes.
Oh my god.
This is why I got her running.
Shit!
It's fine. It's fine.
So
Your blood runs along the blade, and as he lands, you watch as he just twists the blade and starts to rise. He takes his movement with does so mockingly slow. You get every impression that should he wish to, he could have struck again.
Fucking do it, man. Fucking do it. Come
He
on.
sizes you up as you glance down at the blow, and you realize that your blood, though silver and slowly rushing from the wound, isn't sealing.
Shit!
Oh.
A magic fucking weapon, doesn't he?
His eyes lock with yours, and his voice just pushes through the mask. I'm curious if you can regrow limbs.
Honestly, so am I.
same,
Honestly,
bro.
no, I want Edlynnne to say that, but like also in a kind of like a mocking kind of, like grit through teeth kind of. If she can like spit blood, spit blood because she's had injuries. I'm gonna guess it.
Yeah.
I want her to say, so
Go for
am I. That's basically her being, I'll fight to death. But yeah, no, she will go, you know what? So am I. And then she'll try to get herself back up the best she can.
He allows you to pick yourself back up, watches as you do so, and just flicks your blood from his blade across the cobblestones. You see his eyes pass from you as he watches movement behind you. As Subil, from your perspective, you're glancing down, having seen this happen as you dart into an alleyway, fully aware that he is tracking you as you run.
Fuck.
Behind him, you can still hear the shouts of more protectorate on the way. Maybe 6 or 7 seconds behind him. As it comes to one of your turns.
I mean, who wants it?
You know,
I think
that
it might
hole
be-
in the walls look like a great idea right now.
Mhm.
I do not want to be in this building right
I mean, he can't take another go as Inquisition until the next round, until like the next
Correct?
round. Okay, so I'm not, but there's the people behind.
God.
I say if Subil or Cecily hasn't taken it already, maybe you guys get Sam out of there. As
Yeah.
best you
We
can.
still have
basic.
Jack to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
I'm
get yourself
still in
out
the
of there.
building.
I mean, I'm
You can always
yeah,
go out the
I'm
back
looking,
door.
but-
Who's it going to be? I need a decision.
If there is
Uh,
one.
Mine's pretty simple.
Yeah,
I'm
we
just
haven't seen that
basically
one.
scurrying after Subil, trusting his knowledge of back alleys and being able to keep us out of, detection / harm's way.
For one, kill 2
Yeah.
birds with 1 stone, and Cecily and Subil go and
In which case, I will take that. Subil and Cecily, you charge out of the area, rapidly disappearing into back alleys as you watch Edlynnne just pick herself up in front of the figure that's cut itself into place. You can see her body quivering, and as a quick glance, you even see the metal across her skull starting to fall away.
my god.
Matt just pressed the reset button.
But the two of you disappear into the alleyways.
Mm-hmm.
I need you both to make me a brawn athletics check, please. I just need to know how many successes you get, as that's how much distance you're going to put between you and this place.
I have no athletics.
Neither do I. Fuck.
Oh my god.
What's the complication range?
It's going to be 18 because you're carrying Sam.
Oh, it's a success and a complication.
You start putting some distance between the two of you. Unfortunately, without meaning to, Subil charges a bit too far ahead, and you lose sight of him.
Fuck. Fuck. Okay, well, Sybil's going to go back for Cecily and Sam.
Okay.
Yeah.
You stop in place, realizing that you've passed quite far on. Worryingly, you get to the point where you can actually see the docks, and you can see a ship waiting for you. There's a single light hanging from it as someone's rapidly starting to unmoor the boat. You twist back, knowing you've lost them, and charge back in the opposite direction.
In this situation, I am going to, like I did with Max, I'm going to send Bismarck to find Subil to bring him back to us.
Okay, easily done. As you start running back, Subil, it doesn't take long for you to actually run straight into Bismarck, who greets you and rushes back in the opposite direction, bringing you back to Cecily.
Mm-hmm.
We are actually done with the Inquisition's turn this round. So, Jules.
Oh, don't we still have Jack's turn from?
So yeah, Jules and Jack. Sorry.
God, I would really have loved some momentum to keep the initiative after this next turn, because then it staggers me a bit. Unless it counts as a new scene. No.
Nope.
Okay.
So, can I break line of sight using the smoke screen?
You get the impression that you've been noted, but he's stopped.
What do you mean by noted? As in, like,
As
noting? He's seen me for sure.
He's
but
seen
I mean,
you, yeah.
Can I use the smoke screen to stop him from seeing me from this angle?
Not really. Not without going back into the building, because it's an open street. For you to go the way everyone else has gone, you have no cover.
Okay, then I am going to go back into basically the front door and go to the back door and burst through that.
Okay. You dart straight into the smoke cloud through the front door, and almost immediately in doing so, slam into the bodies of the two guards that are still in that smoke screen and didn't get a turn.
Oh shit! Round. Yeah, sorry, my bad. I forgot it was you put a smoke bomb. Okay.
Yeah.
Am I able to retract? I would have noticed that there's smoke.
Yeah. You know there's smoke. You can see the smoke bomb.
Okay. I can see the smoke bomb.
You know the smoke bomb's gone off. As I said, the smoke bomb has gone off in that doorway and blinded those inside.
But can I see the smoke bomb? Like, can I pick up the smoke bomb and throw it?
Oh, no, you have no idea where the smoke bomb is. Sorry. Misinterpreted that. Do apologize.
Could you look for a back door? Like, just run through the smoke?
No, if I do that, I wouldn't be able to see because of the smoke.
Yeah. The front door is obscured by the smoke bomb.
Well, I'm going to run Cecily and Subil away.
Okay, you bolt after the two of them. Make me a brawn athletics check, please.
Because whereabouts are we in the town? Because
you're towards the kind of lower end of Dusk Dock. You're not overly far from where you need to be.
I was going to say, would I know this area, especially the fact that I had Ginger Beer's bar nearby? So I'd know kind of an area around it, no?
So Ginger Beer's bar was in Old Town up near Faithview Hills, which is near the other end of the city.
Are we not near Dusk Docks?
So you're at Dusk Docks, which is quite far off to the side, and Ginger Beer's bar
is in Old Town.
is up between Old Town and Faithview Hills, so quite high up in the other direction.
Right. Okay. So okay. That's fine.
You know the area, but
okay.
Yeah.
I'll bolt it. So agility, strength. What was it?
Agility, brawn, athletics.
Brawn, athletics.
Come on, please generate momentum. I really need it.
2.
That'll do. You charge off, just disappearing into the back alleys as rapidly as you physically can. It will eventually get to a point where you twist around a corner and more or less run straight into Cecily, who's kind of stopped in an alleyway trying to work out where the fuck she is. As you reach her, there's a bark, and you see Bismarck rushing down an alleyway back towards the two of them, with Subil loosely in tow.
Was that any momentum generated?
No, it's not got a difficulty value. It's just seeing how far they get.
It was combat roll out the window.
Which brings us to either Edlynnne or Jack.
You can go, Jago.
I'm really sorry. Can I ask you to go? Because I really need just one momentum.
So do I. So do I.
What's it going to
be? I'm saying you go.
All right, I'll go.
You got a better chance than I do.
Well, all I can do is... shit. Okay.
Fire is rapidly spreading.
Fuck it. I'm just gonna have to spend... No. I'm gonna look for a window on the back of the house, just dart across the floor, just dart across the second floor looking for a window on the back of the house.
You rush out of the same room and glance around. There's another room behind it. The door closed. You slam that open into a smaller bedroom, and on the back of it you can see a open window that leads out into a courtyard behind. Immediately just glancing through, because you can already see lights flicking on, you realize the courtyard is closed, that the only way in or out is through houses. There's no alleyways connecting to it. It is only accessible through the house.
Son of a bitch.
Void for an alley?
I'd accept a void point for an alley.
I've already spent a void point this scene. So that's a no-go.
Yep.
Fling open the window and start making my way down.
Make me a brawn athletics check. Just gonna jump out the window, basically.
Just want to hang off the edge and drop.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's the best way. Brawn athletics.
Yep. Difficulty 1.
15. Yeah, 2 successes.
You generate momentum. You swing the door open, clamber out, drop down, and find yourself in the courtyard. As I said, you can see lights flicking on, and people are bursting out of their doors here and there, trying to work out whatever the fuck's going on. The fire at this point having spread more thoroughly across the house, it's even starting to catch the ones next to them now.
Just gonna bolt it with any movement I've got left. Just bolt in the furthest towards the dust stocks is best I can.
You are stuck in the area.
Yeah.
As I said, the courtyard is, you have to go through a house to get through the courtyard.
Yeah. Whatever house, so dust stocks, whatever direction that house is.
Back the way you came.
I don't know geometry or geography.
You drop into the area, glance around the courtyard, and as I said, you can see people coming out of the houses. They look over to you and go, "What's going on?" As you twist back and realise that it's the way you've just come from.
The other docks where we were meeting Juliana's boat, which direction's that?
North, which would be kind of to your left and straight up, but you're literally having to run through the entire city to do that.
It's the best.
And the bridges.
I can swim. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Let's fucking go over to the other docks then. I gotta run for a city.
You rush up and just hope you can find a way out of the area.
Yeah.
Leaving us with only Edlynnne.
There's 2 momentum. done what I can.
So he's cut my sword in half. I'm not healing. But if I run away, he's either going to give chase to me or he's going to give chase to Sam and Subil. So I think it's going to be stupid, and I know what this means, but I'm going to try to make one last stand to at least give them some time to get away.
Okay. You are unarmed. You have only your hands with you. And
Fine.
I say that, you've still got kind of half a blade.
Yeah.
It's just severed. As you kind of grip it in place, you glance down to all of the various wounds that you've picked up recently, the cuts, the scabs that have normally just covered over with steel. And you can see that the metal is liquefying in front of your eyes. You feel a cool breeze rush across your head.
I'm just gonna, with the sword, just. I know I'm not gonna beat him, but I need to give something.
You strike out at him. Make an agility fighting test.
In grand old tradition of me rolling fighting tests, a fail and a complication.
You thrust your blade forwards, and he doesn't even raise his blade to stop you. His left hand instead just slaps up, catches you in the wrist, and sends the blade flying from your hand. It scatters across the ground next to him. This is your one chance to surrender.
Just literally not going to say anything, just give him a look that says no.
Very well. You still technically have your movement.
I can't do another attack with the movement, can I?
Not another attack, unfortunately. You can spend a void point to gain another attack.
Who has more than one void point these days? The only thing I can think of doing is just squaring up with whatever little strength I've got left. Just get ready.
You just size yourself up to him. He again just stands there in front of you, and you can only see his eyes. Behind him, you watch as more protectorates and inquisitors start to arrive. As it enters the beginning of the next turn. Who would like to go first?
Oh my god.
Unless you hold the action, Kanehurst will be next.
Well, I think for sure we have Subil.
The three of you
Cecily
can
last.
act as you guys can act as a clump, effectively. So
We're getting on that boat.
exactly, you're in the range to get. They somewhere in the range to get on the boat either this turn or next one.
We're making our way. I don't know how far we are.
So
I know the route now, at least.
Who's going?
Do we want to go? Holly, do you want to take it?
I feel like Holly
I've got nothing to do. I mean, I can just punch and hope for the best. She's not going to run. She's not going to run away.
Then if we go, because we've got 2 momentum, if I just move as far as I can, just spend every bit of my action moving, then spend the 2 momentum, give it back to you guys so you can get as far as you can. And then all the Inquisitors go, then Holly, then Inquisitors, then back to us.
Let's do that. That sounds like a very good plan.
Okay. Then I will then continue with that plan, whichever fucking door leads, because it's whatever.
You can either look for an open door or make one. It is up to you.
I'm gonna look for one.
Make an insight observation check, difficulty 2.
Got to make this
It's more based on luck than anything else.
Okay, cool. Insight observation. Fucking hell, I don't half play to my strengths, do I? That is oh no, thank fuck, I'm not injured. Okay, that's 2 successes then.
You run your eyes up and down the building, and almost via fate, you look over to one door as someone opens it up to just call out what the hell's going on. You take your opportunity to just barge past this poor woman in a nightgown and straight into her house.
I will apologize as I go.
Spit an apology as them pass, charging through the house and finding it more or less a mimic of the one you've just been in. You rush through and find the door on the other side. You have to slow yourself down to stop, unlock it, and swing the door open before disappearing back out of the other side. As you swing that door open, however, you briefly catch the window as you pass through, and moving across from the window you see lights. Hand lanterns being carried at rapid speed. You swing the door open into the street as you see a contingent of Protectorate troops making their way down the same street that Edlynnne ran up earlier, heading down. As you are not the only person opening the door, you do not immediately catch their attention. But you do see about 10 to 20 of them.
Is there alleyways on the other side of the street?
They're thatched roofs as well.
Yes.
Or are they...
In this area they are. Old Town is mostly thatched.
Okay.
So street, Inquisitors coming on
Down
one
the
side
street.
towards me. Are there like...
Past
is it
you.
a past? So they're going to come past. They're coming... Sorry, so are they coming past as I...
So
open the
you
door,
have
or
north is Old Town. East would...
I can get the
West.
map up.
Sorry. Basically, they're moving from Faithview Hills to Dusktown. You are looking straight north from from Old Town / Dusk Docks up to Newtown. They are running parallel to you towards the Dusk Docks. So they are going past you to your left, basically.
Okay, right. Oh, let's try and bluff this and let them pass.
Roll me a coordination persuasion check. Difficulty 1.
Can we go with that?
2.
Will?
No.
Please?
No.
Sorry, what was that?
Coordination persuasion. As you are literally having to stop yourself from just barreling into them and going from passerby on the street to person fleeing.
Persuasion. Okay, coordination persuasion. All right, let's make some magic happen, shall we? It's not a new scene, is it?
Nope.
I'm in a house. New scene.
Yeah, the camera had to change shots. Okay. Okay. Fucking hell. 2 successes.
You drag yourself, literally just catch yourself on the door frame and stop. They move past and you give yourself a momentary opening between them. Next turn, you'll be able to dart through.
Okay. And I will spend the 2 momentum to give the initiative back to the group of us that is moving.
Who's going next?
It's us 3.
Okay.
Sybil.
I'm happy to let you act as a group. Make me each of you make a brawn athletics check, please. At this point, difficulty 2, as you know where you're going and you know the distance.
Okay.
Oh, and I'm still carrying Sam.
Yes.
And all I have is 8 brawn. I really should have passed him over to Jules.
Oh, we can do that if you want.
Yeah, that's no trouble.
Yeah, can I pass him over to Jules? Okay.
Yeah.
In which case, I pass Sam over to Jules because I'm squishy. And I still have 2 failures.
I got one pass.
Okay. You make good speed, but not good enough. You start disappearing back into the alleyways, and even though you bring the dusk docks into line of sight, you don't quite make the full distance. They are still lingering just too far away.
Oh, we're still in the alleys, so we're kind of
Still in the alleyway, so you're still somewhat hidden. Back in the street, however, Canehurst gives the order. Still stood directly in front of Edlynnne. Hunt them down. Keep safe. So I do apologize. Hunt them down. Capture the child. The rest are expendable. You have your orders. And he just turns his attention back to Edlynnne. You bear the tattoos of a monk. Wisian, I believe.
I was once that. I don't know. I can't portray pain in voice, but very much like in past life, yes. Not so much now.
Then I'll do you the honor of at least facing this like a warrior. Pick up your sword.
Yes, respect for that. I will lean down and pick up the little sword I have left.
What is your name?
Edlynnne.
Aldrich Canehurst. It's a shame our ideologies came between us. I have nothing but respect for your order.
I just like nod my head and be like, I agree. Maybe if circumstances were different, we might have been able to work things out.
Perhaps. Around you, Protectorate and Acolytes storm the streets, rushing along them to give chase. You see many of them darting down alleys. You see a contingent of horsemen disappearing down one of the streets behind you and making their way out. You get this overwhelming feeling of the entire prison convoy. Every man, woman, and soldier that was dragged into the area with the intent of being used to move the prisoners has been redirected solely after each and every one of you. And Edlynnne, as you watch this overwhelming force charge after who you know to be your friends, after your son, you know at least you've given them time. As Canehurst offers you a slight bow. Don't fall over.
It's a chair. I'll be courteous, bow back, give him some respect at least.
Before he readies his sword, I need you to make an agility fighting test.
Swear down, dice if you fuck me again.
Go on, pass this to one. Do it.
Here we go.
Fuck him up.
Oh my god, why am I so emotional right now?
Oh my god. Come on. No.
One pass this time.
I'll see.
He's gonna do better.
The sound of 8 successes.
Oh my god.
You ready your sword. And the last thing you see and feel is the swipe of his blade as it severs your head from your shoulders.
Whoa! Oh my god.
As he deals you 14 damage.
Yeah, that would do it.
Armor?
Most of that had piercing.
I had 5 armor. Even with that, yeah.
How much piercing?
7.
Yeah, no, she's gone.
Motherfucker!
Edlynnne.
Oh, I'm so playing a bard next time. Oh my god, why? Sorry, I'm like really emotional. I don't know why.
Oh, I'm crying too. It's fine.
Good storytelling, that's what it is. Holy shit.
From his perspective, your body drops to its knees and collapses to the side. Your head rolls slightly to the slightly away. As more acolytes rush past him, he leans down and takes the sword that has been dropped from your hand and places it on your chest, bringing one of your hands to rest upon it. The martyr is not done with you.
You can't tell me that after I've cried like 20 tears.
And that is where we will end for tonight.
God.
Oh my god.
That
Oh my God.
was the first half of our conclusion for season 1. And I invite you to follow us to return next week to see what happens next.
I'm going to be in the chat next week, just like egging you guys all on.
Phil, before we say goodbye for the night, to say goodbye from each and every one of us. So, first and foremost, Jago, please. Who are you? Where can we find you?
Right, yeah. Speaking. Hi, I'm Jago. I'm still Jack for a little bit longer, I guess. There's not much else I do besides the initiative orders. Chalice, Twilight Roads, please come back. God, we need all the support we can get at this point.
Yeah. Lynn.
Hi. I'm not crying, you're crying.
I'm definitely crying.
Hi, I'm Lynn. I'm also known as Pan or Pontufar or Pantufals. There are many ways to pronounce it. I am playing Cecily. I may not be playing Cecily next week. We'll see how it goes. I also stream on Twitch, so if I can actually get my computer to work. I also do art. Here is Emrakul from Magic the Gathering that I'm working on for Danny of the Initiative Order. So if you guys want to come see me do that, then yeah, give me a click. And...
all of the appropriate tentacles.
Oh yeah, all of that stuff. My brain right now. I'm just going to end there and scene.
Momentum.
Max.
Hi, I'm Max. If you need to contact me or follow me or whatever, follow me on Instagram at YalupMax. But yeah, that's this week's show, I guess.
Yeah.
For Jules. We'll find out if she makes it back next time.
Yeah. And lurking there in the shadows, Billy.
Hello, everyone. Rather goodbye, everyone. I'm Billy. I'm play Subil, as you know. Hopefully, I'll be here next week, and hopefully, I'll have a light in front of me rather than behind me. But we will find out then.
Only time will tell.
Indeed.
And, of course.
That's a real reason to come back.
Last but by no means least, Holly.
Sorry, I'm literally on the verge of fucking tears, man. Hi, I'm Holly. I played Edlynnne.
Oh god, don't say that.
Honestly, if I never get to play her again, I'm happy with how it ended for her. It was a warrior's death through and through. Fucking top tier storytelling there, Ben, honestly.
Nothing to do with me, Holly. Nothing to do with me.
I'm definitely literally going to be tuning in next week, fucking egging you guys all on, man.
And sadly for everyone else, I am, as I always am, Ben. And I will be here next week, however much I may not be wanted now. As we bring season 1 to its now tragic conclusion. We thank you for staying with us. And as we said at the beginning, please, with everything going on in the world right now, don't forget that there are still people that need our help. And with that in mind, we urge you once again to give to the True Self Foundation if you can. All of the information is in the comments. Look them up, see what you can do to help as much as everyone else does. And from all of us here at Chalice Twilight Roads, thank you very much, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.